Got it all out?
Yeah, I think I'm ready. You know, it's we're getting through the winter now. We're getting through the winter.
March.
Spring's here.
Winter? You don't even have winter down in Tallahassee.
Yeah, I guess not really.
Not really.
Not really.
It's not too bad.
Not too bad. Hi, Aaron.
Hey, Carlin. How's it going?
Considering everything, it's going okay.
What's everything?
You know, we've gone a couple months since we had the big employee exodus, so to speak. We brought in some new players on the
Some new blood?
some new blood in the Tallahassee office of the podcast HQ here. I'm excited. I think it's the best team we've ever had. You know, there's a whole support team for this podcast. I mean, there's people who are working on distribution. There's an IT department. There's a marketing department.
I've got
QK who's still here.
I don't care about them. Who's Kevin's replacement? Kevin Hart, the janitor.
A lot of the stuff that some of these people were doing, I've put onto QK. So I don't know who Kevin's replacement is.
It sounds like you have a high turnover rate there. Does that worry you at all? Does that worry any of the other employees?
No, they just can't keep up. They just can't keep up with me. Can't keep up with what? With us. I mean, not me, us. You know, you're a part of it too. Yeah, they just can't. I mean, it's just if they can't keep up, then they move on. It's no big deal.
How's QK doing? It sounds like
QK's got a lot on her plate. I feel like
she's spinning plates. Is she a plate spinner?
No, she's kind of been like between you and me. She's been kind of a plate dropper.
She's breaking plates.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say it's her fault that we did not win the potty this year. You know, obviously.
I didn't think we were going to bring that up.
Well, I'm only bringing it up to say this. I'm not going to officially place the blame on QK, but I think there might have been some paperwork or something that didn't get filed or submitted correctly or something.
I'm sure some previous employees, we could pin it on them. Like
Probably.
Kevin leaving sure didn't help things.
Yeah, I mean, that's how she's presenting it. I'm just concerned a little bit about QK right now and how she's slacking. But
Slacking?
Yeah, just slacking. I mean...
Do you need an Alabama dog to step in?
I've thought about maybe sending her off to Alabama Dog U for a week for a little like a high intensive boot camp.
I'll just tell you, if I couldn't handle Alabama Dog's high level goals, there's no way that QK is going to be able to handle his goals.
Probably not. Probably. Not.
I think Scott may be the only person I know who's actually gone to Alabama Dog U and is...
Well, I don't know. I mean, it seems like Alabama Dog U itself has changed. It used to be, you know, the way Scott talked about it was like, you know, just hanging out with babes and, you know, it's like real like...
That's why he was there.
It seemed real fun. It seemed more social. Where now it's like, I don't know. It seems like Alabama Dog's taken a real serious turn and real... You know,
he's rebranded himself? Is that what you're saying?
It seems like he's really, he's rebranded himself again. I don't know. So it's weird.
Well, maybe he's taking things more serious because he's vying for the next to not replace Daniel Craig as the next James Bond, but to follow him.
Right.
To be the next one.
Right. Yeah, and I don't. How's that campaign going? I mean, we've started that campaign last month. We are advocating. We are campaigning. We are hoping that the Bond producers.
Yep.
I mean, I don't want them to fire Daniel Craig for this.
We've been pushing it pretty hard.
But what I'm looking for here is that once Daniel Craig makes the decision to not renew, and maybe that's after Bond 24, maybe that's after Bond 25, maybe it's after Bond 35, whatever that is, that we're looking for his successor to be Alabama Dog. That's the kind of forward thinking we do on the show, you know?
Yeah, and if you want to understand our thought process behind that a little bit more, you can listen to our previous episode, 0018. But we're not looking back.
I wonder how much progress has been made on the book recently. A couple months back, I talked about how I lost a substantial chunk of the book that I had been writing.
Oh, I remember.
I haven't gotten back to it. It's been hard to get back on that horse. I don't know where you stand on the writing.
This month has been slow.
Yeah.
It's been slow because I don't know about you, but I feel like all of my focus has been built on getting Alabama Dog into the running for not only our potties that have gone to waste, but him bidding to be the next James Bond, and in turn, I feel like Alabama Dog is coming around with me. He's coming to accept me into his inner circle.
I also feel like my focus has been shifted away from the book some. I have decided to go ahead and ask QK to submit some. Well, first I went to her and I said, I'll give you some ideas for some chapters. And so she kind of waited around, waiting for me, I guess, to give her those ideas. And just, at some point it's like, I have things to do, I'm busy. I got a podcast to run.
Question.
Yeah.
Did she write any of these ideas on a marker board?
Yeah, we've got them around the office. I think she wrote them, somewhere. Chalkboard, marker board, whatever.
Boards.
So she, except she didn't write the ideas down because I didn't give her any ideas. I just told her to write some stuff up and I'll review it. So that's where we stand. I'm waiting on QK to get me some stuff. But meanwhile, I want to talk about the potties. We didn't get the potty. So I don't want to talk about the potties in the sense that we didn't get it. I want to talk about we're gonna get it. We're gonna get it next year. There's always next year.
It's gonna happen.
So here's what I've done. Aaron,
you're forward thinking.
Aaron, me, Carlin Trammell, sort of the brains of this operation, right? The brains of this podcast. I think you would agree. I have joined a group. They're a podcast masterminds group.
What?
They are a group of us. We are podcasters. We are getting together. We're getting together on Skype monthly to help each other out, to sort of bolster each other and improve one another and the podcasts. And we're talking some big podcasts in this group, like
Bames John Dean.
They're not. They're in a different masterminds group. I requested not to be in the same group as them.
Okay.
We're talking like big guys, big people. I can't even tell you the names. You probably wouldn't have even. The reason why is you wouldn't have heard of them because they're big deals, but you wouldn't know who they are.
Well, you would probably be the biggest name in the group.
No, you'd think, but no.
Okay.
No. I mean, I'm at their level. But
so wait, you aren't making a podcast with them. You're just talking to them about podcasting.
Right.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's a podcast mastermind. So they're giving me ideas. They're helping me improve. So I'm hoping that in the next few months, maybe you'll see some changes to the show. I've gotten some great ideas from this masterminds group. We'll incorporate them into the show, and by the time this time next year, by the time we roll around to March of 2016. We will be Potty Award winning.
Let's hope so. Let's hope this is worth it. I'm a little concerned. But curious about this mastermind group. I'm concerned because you didn't invite me. Are you saying that you're the brains of the operation, but I'm the heart?
Yeah. Yep. That sounds good. Let's go with that.
I think that makes sense. What does that make Bama Dog?
The gut.
He's the gut.
Mm-hmm. He's the gut. You know how sometimes people say, go with your gut?
Yeah.
He's the gut.
Okay, I'll go with that. I'll go with my gut. All right, Bama Dog's the gut. You're the brains, and I'll be the heart.
Yep.
Okay.
There you go. We have a special movie that we're talking about. This is the second time that Sean Connery played James Bond for the last time. It's the second of 3 times that he played James Bond for the last time. So we've already covered.
Can you imagine being in the audience, 1971, and thinking like, he's back. He's back. We got like a few more movies in him. But no, it's you get to be let down twice, knowing that it's his last movie.
You only live twice. Oh, I'm gonna get. Oh, the masterminds are gonna probably get me on that one. Okay. Yes. So this is kind of like a little trilogy here. This is the second of his the 3 times he played Bond for the last time.
Mm-hmm.
And it's Diamonds Are Forever. So he'd come back after On Her Majesty's Secret Service. They'd now there's some interesting backstory here. Stuff that we as the experts can teach you.
We're just delving right into.
Lazenby, I guess, decided he didn't want to come back. I don't think they were too broken up about it. And I know we're not talking about that movie. I know we don't see eye to eye on that movie. I think Lazenby, he was the weakest part about that movie. I think he could have grown into the role. But yeah, it's probably for the best. It's probably for the best he left. So good. And I don't know who I don't know how you deal with that. I don't know how you deal with that. So it seems like, you look for somebody to kind of follow that, and I guess they did sign someone, but ultimately the studio's like, look, let's just kind of wash that aside. Let's just kind of ignore that happened. Let's get Connery back. That's the way to deal with it. And maybe, I don't always think studios are right, but maybe in this case they were.
So you're saying you like Sean Connery in this role?
Yeah, I like Sean Connery as James Bond.
No, I mean, no, in Diamonds Forever.
I think he's better in this than he is in You Only Live Twice.
Really?
He seems...
he knows he's getting paid.
He knows he's getting paid. He's obviously made the choice to come back. He seems a little bit more into it. He seems
he seems like he's almost willing, like he's welcoming the camp.
In
this movie.
Which, yeah, we can talk about the camp later. He seems like he's having a little bit more fun with it than he was in You Only Live Twice.
I'll agree to that.
Clearly, he's older now, which was something we've talked about before. But that's okay. I mean, I think that doesn't go away. I mean, Roger Moore comes in and
sorry, go ahead.
Well, I mean, Roger Moore comes in, and the age thing is something we're going to have to deal with the next 7 movies. It's not going away. So,
which blows my mind because Connery's 41 when this movie comes out.
Yeah,
but he doesn't look 41. He looks like he's 61.
Oh, I was going to say 55. I was going to be nice.
55? Okay, you're going to be nice. The thing is, Roger Moore is older than Sean Connery is in real life.
Yeah.
But Sean Connery looks like a young stud at this time. And
Roger Moore looks like a younger.
Sorry, Roger Moore looks like a young stud.
Yeah, because when Roger Moore's first couple, he does look younger than Connery does here.
Which makes you think, like, Daniel Craig right now is older than Sean Connery is in this film. And even Idris Elba is older than Sean Connery is in this film. Alabama Dog, in dog years, he's already older than this.
Yeah, right.
So it makes you wonder, like, well, is it the hairpiece that Sean Connery's wearing? Is it his complete lack of athletic ability when he's fighting these guys that just makes him seem old?
Yeah. There's something about it that is not as... He's definitely not the cool, suave Bond that he was in his first 4 movies. That's gone.
If I watched this movie for the first time in 1971, and you didn't tell me how old Sean Connery was, and you told me he would be alive in 2015, I would laugh. I would laugh. I would there's no way that man could be alive in 2015.
But yeah, this is a pretty simplistic story. If anything, the story is much more like the whole diamond smuggling. I mean, I think even Bond says something early on. He's like, we're dealing with diamond smugglers now. Like I've been chasing after international criminals, and now I'm resorting to this.
It is confusing why MI6 decides to get involved with diamond smuggling. Yeah, it seems way below his pay grade. It's almost like, when they came in, it's like, oh, you've been on vacation. They kind of took it serious. He's like, no, I haven't been on vacation, but oh, here's the little diamond smuggling case for you to get back in action. And yeah, I mean, it's simplistic. It's a little simpler. But in some ways, I always like that. I always welcome that because I get to see James Bond, do some spy things. He takes on the identity of the criminal, of Peter Franks, and just simpler little gags, simpler little scenes that those are things that in Bond and Bond lore that I enjoy. Of course, up until the big reveal, which I don't know. I see a mile away from the beginning of the film. Blofeld's coming back,
right?
Yeah.
It would have almost been better if Blofeld hadn't been a part of the opening scene, and it wasn't, because it just seems kind of like, well, that's an odd coincidence that he's like on the mission to kill Blofeld, thinks he's done it, and then it just so happens that Blofeld's going off and doing this diamond smuggling thing, and Bond's getting assigned to the same deal. And I mean, if you just cut out like the Blofeld stuff at the beginning, then it just would have been much easier to deal with, I think.
It makes it seem like Blofeld wanted Bond to get on this case. That he was feeding them like, oh yes, I want James Bond to get on this case so that we can meet again.
Yeah, and
otherwise it's too coincidental.
Well, if that had happened, I mean that would have at least helped if there had been something that specified that.
But there's not.
There's not. And and we're looking at, this is now the third Blofeld in as many movies. And it's and I know that you are not a fan of the previous movie, and I am, but we're looking at something pretty substantial has just happened, and it's a shame that there isn't, at least in this movie, more of a resolution. There is
there's no closure.
There is no closure. There's no reference to it. There's no like, oh, you've just killed my wife, and like there's that he's angry at the beginning, but it doesn't. It's almost like they just kind of ignored that movie had happened. This is just coming after You Only Live Twice.
You know the point in the film where I realize, wow, they really are just completely ignoring what happened in the previous movie. Is when Moneypenny makes the most offensive joke she could make to James Bond at that time. He's going to Amsterdam to meet up with the diamond smugglers, and Moneypenny jokes about how he needs to bring her back a diamond in a ring, like in the form of a ring. She's saying this to Bond merely days after his bride just died, and she's joking about bringing her a ring with a diamond. Moneypenny has no heart. Moneypenny is the most villainous character in this film.
I think you're right. That might change my dodgeball pick.
Moneypenny, the cold-hearted. You know what? Yeah. No, that when she said that, you put that in the context. It's like, what? These writers just did not care about what happened in the previous movie.
No.
Which makes On Her Majesty's Secret Service just bewildering. It's like this unknown movie that nobody even references.
It's a weird anomaly.
Yeah.
Now I want to. You're bringing up the writers, and so I think that's a good segue into something I wanted to bring up.
It's not too bad.
One of the writers, one of the guys who was did the screenplay. I don't know if you noticed this. His name is Tom Mankiewicz. Yeah. Tom Mankiewicz wrote or was involved in the writing of the following two movies, both of which we've covered. Both of which we've talked about at great length before. In particular, his creation of the character of Sheriff Pepper.
Nobody cuts and runs on Sheriff J.W. Pepper.
And now, also, we've talked about how Tom Mankiewicz was involved in the writing of Superman and Superman 2, and the guy who played Sheriff Pepper plays a sheriff in Superman 2. And clearly, Tom Mankiewicz has a fascination with hillbilly sheriffs, because in this movie, in Las Vegas, there is what I'm going to call the Proto Pepper. Sheriff, there's no name given this guy, but Sheriff Proto Pepper. And I find that fascinating, just from that standpoint alone. We have essentially the template given to us for Sheriff Pepper right there in that Las Vegas sheriff.
You are absolutely right. I didn't even pick up on that.
I can't believe you didn't.
Oh, man. It's like, you're right. It's like if Sheriff Pepper was at 15%.
That's kind of a low end exaggeration. I would say more like 12%. But yeah, for sure.
That is Tom Mankiewicz. We need to have a Tom Mankiewicz episode.
Well, we had a poll a few months back about whether or not there would be an episode devoted to Sheriff Pepper.
It's overwhelmingly in favor of.
So I think let me just make a note to QK to make sure we get that on the schedule.
Do you think she really needs that on her plate right now? I feel like she would drop that plate.
She will do it, and she will just have to work more hours. She'll have to stay late, and she'll get it done.
So what are you going to do? I mean, what plates are you holding right now?
I go to the masterminds, podcast masterminds. I record the show with you. So
you were willing to go to the potties if we won.
If we had won, I would have been. I would have been there. I would have said the acceptance speech.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess that counts for something.
That does count for something.
I kind of want to just cut to my dodgeball team right now.
Okay.
Because I go first. I'm looking up my team right now. If you want to look up our teams with us, go to podjamespod.tumblr.com. Look at our dodgeball teams. Last month, I added Vesper Lind to my team from Casino Royale. Purely tactical reason to distract Daniel Craig, James Bond on your team. And I think there were a couple characters in this film that inspired me.
Uh-huh.
And I am going to draft Thumper.
Yep.
I'm getting rid of Vesper. I'm drafting Thumper.
Okay.
Part of Mr. White's henchwomen who Bond has to fight in his house. I'm picking Thumper because, one, Bond doesn't see her right away. So I know she's got not invisibility, but she's kind of like Knick-Knack on my team, where you don't really see him. He can stand in the middle of the room and you don't see him. And she's acrobatic. She's doing flips everywhere. She's jumping, running, kicking, beating up James Bond. That's pretty amazing. Mm-hmm. And I think taking care of your Sean Connery Bond, the eldest, most influential Bond on your team, is more important than dealing with Daniel Craig, the tender, I don't know. Daniel Craig, he's got the broken heart. He's a little bit easier to deal with. So I'm going to draft Thumper.
Okay. Well, if you're going to add, you're adding Thumper, then
yes.
Clearly the only choice I have is to add Bambi.
I knew you were going to add Bambi.
There's no way around it. I mean, if you had added Bambi, I was adding Thumper. If you were adding Thumper, I'm adding Bambi. I mean, that's just the way of it.
They're clearly the best, most athletic characters in this movie.
Yeah, there's no one else to choose.
There is nobody else.
I'll tell you the other person I contemplated. and that is Plenty O'Toole. Because I think Plenty O'Toole certainly would be that'd be a couple of huge distractions for your Roger Moore Bond.
Of course. Any girl on your team is useless. Solitaire is all the distraction my Roger Moore Bond needs.
Yeah. So from that standpoint, I didn't think Plenty was really gonna help much. So I am. Who are you removing? Did you say you're removing?
I removed Vesper.
Vesper. Okay. Yeah. I'm removing Tiger Tanaka. Tiger Tanaka has been on my list, my team for a long time.
Since day one. Oh man.
He's one of the first, but he's gone. He's gone.
Really?
Yeah. Really.
Okay. I mean, Bambi for Tiger. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. If you think about it, Tiger didn't do a whole lot compared to what Bambi did.
he kind of just sat in the corner.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm telling you, Bambi's no thumper though.
Oh, I think you've got the better one of the two. I don't disagree. But I think the second choice is Bambi. I mean, who else is there in this movie that I could have chosen?
Well, you didn't have to take anybody.
That's true. I didn't have to.
You could have taken anybody from any movie.
That's true.
I've seen this far.
That's true. I could have chosen Xenia Onatopp.
No, you can't choose her. But you're saying Bambi is the best choice out of all the movies we've seen thus far.
No. Of Diamonds Are Forever, after you've chosen Thumper, that Bambi's the next best choice.
But you had the option to choose from all of our movies, and you chose Bambi. Knowing that she was the second best choice even in this movie.
You're right. But here's the strategy there. If anyone knows how to stop Thumper, it's Bambi.
Yeah, you're right. They were a team.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And let me tell you, I am so thankful that you got rid of the shark, because Thumper is not a good swimmer. She's easy to drown. Very easy to hold her head underwater.
Yep.
And you should be thankful for Bambi that the shark is no longer on the team.
Yeah. That we worked that out. Yeah. This is a long running contract negotiation. She wasn't going to come on if the shark was still there.
I wish more people would announce their names when you walk into the room. I'm Bambi. I'm Thumper.
I want you to start doing that. As people walk into rooms that you're already in, I want you to start announcing your name. You want to practice? You want to do a little role play?
Okay.
All right, so you're in the room. Where? What kind of room is it?
It's a big lodge.
Okay, it's a lodge?
Yeah, it's big, like a log cabin.
Like a log cabin. Okay, what's the furnishing like?
There's a big fireplace.
Big fireplace?
I'm sitting on leather couches facing away from you.
Okay. Are you facing away from me? You're facing towards the fireplace?
Yes.
Is there like a bear skin rug or something on the floor?
Of course.
Okay.
Of course. Yes.
A lot of rustic decorations.
There's an antler chandelier above me.
Oh, nice. Okay, antler. Is it day or night outside?
Oh, it's night. It's night.
Nighttime. Okay, so it's night.
There's no other lights on, just the fire.
Just the
I'm contemplating something.
Okay, so just there's no other lights on. The fire. I pull up outside the lodge. This log.
I know you're coming.
Lodge.
Yeah.
You know I'm coming. And okay. So in this scenario, do I know you're there, or do I just know someone's there?
You know someone's there,
but I don't know it's you.
Correct.
Okay. So I walk. I pull up to the lodge. I walk in the door. I've walked into the door now. I'm in the room.
I'm Aaron.
Oh, I was wondering who was here.
I need to work on it just a little bit.
Yeah, I think so.
I think I can maybe, take this to work, or maybe practice. Maybe I could visit you in your office.
You're welcome anytime.
You could
the
try
crew
it.
would love to see you. They would love.
Maybe I'll walk in your office and you can practice it.
You you could make working on that one of your high-level goals.
I already got so many high-level goals I'm working on for Bama Dog.
Okay. I was giving you a suggestion.
I don't need any more suggestions. Okay. All right, Thumper, Bambi.
Thumper, Bambi. There's a lot of, if you count Thumper and Bambi, we've talked about Plenty O'Toole. So we've talked about some of the Bond girls in this. There's multiple, counting them. We haven't talked about the main one, Jill St. John as Tiffany Case.
Tiffany Case. And as Bond would like the joke, do the cuffs match, or do the collars and the cuffs match? When she's putting on her wigs. When he made that joke, again, my wife just looked at me and she said, "Really?"
Does she ever say anything else to you?
No, that's all she says.
Really?
Really?
No, I was asking. Really? That's all she says to you?
Yeah. No.
Okay. I kind of go back and forth with Jill St. John. I mean, there are times I don't really... even within the movie, there are times like I don't really like her, and there are times that I do. She's clearly intelligent enough to have this operation going, but then there's just some stuff at the end where, with the whole thing with the switching out the tape and the, hey, I did the, like, hey, look at me, I helped you. Oh, I did the wrong thing, and I'm such a ditz. And I just pick. Hey, Tom Mankiewicz, pick one.
His mind is just full of Bond girls. He has to fit them all in there. If only he had like maybe one more Bond movie he could write, he would include the Bacon Strips idea.
Well, unfortunately, he's passed. So,
which is really sad because he had a great opportunity with Quantum of Solace. I felt like that was the last Bond movie he was alive for. And if Bacon Strips had been the Bond girl, or who was the redhead girl in that movie? Fields.
Strawberry Fields. Gemma Atherton.
Yeah. Fields. If Fields had been in Bacon Strips, and if Bacon Strips were then covered in oil, I would have liked that movie so much more.
Yeah.
Or instead of oil, chocolate covered Bacon Strips.
Okay. Peppy coffee, like crusted bacon.
Oh man, that sounds. If Peppy had been the evil organization in Quantum of Solace, and they were getting into the chocolate industry, and that's why they were in South America. Just I think we could rewrite Quantum of Solace right now.
Except we don't need to because it's such a good movie. It doesn't need rewriting. But yeah.
Look, we're looking ahead. We're looking to the future.
We are.
So we've talked a little bit about Blofeld. There's not really much else to talk about him.
There isn't a whole lot to say about him. There's I guess there's three main Blofelds at this point, and then there's a couple other like off-screen Blofelds.
Yeah.
But, this guy. Definitely lowest, my least favorite Blofeld.
I have to ask you a question because we brought this up in the License to Kill episode.
Okay.
Were you a fan of the two-wheel stunt with the car in this movie versus the two-wheel stunt with the truck in License to Kill?
It was a little bit more, it was very Dukes of Hazzard, which I think I called the semi stunt the same thing. I said it's very Dukes of Hazzard. I didn't mind it as much with the car, but it still kind of bugged me because it follows a pretty decent car chase, like a really well done, like authentically filmed car chase, and then suddenly they're going off somewhere else, which it doesn't seem like they were in Vegas anymore for that particular scene. And they're pulling off stunts. And it just sort of like, I don't know, sort of a disappointing end.
You notice...
But let me just, in the context of the movie, it was a little bit easier of a pill to swallow because the movie is much campier than License to Kill. So seeing that stunt in License to Kill seemed much more out of place than it did in this movie.
No, I agree. Yeah. And the end of the two-wheel car stunt in this film, you notice how the car switched sides of the wheels, and that they did a little camera trick in camera where they rotated the camera or rotated the actors so that then when they cut back and the car's on the other wheels, it's almost like they were forced to have the car come out one way, and they were like, in the editing room they had to figure out, well, we can't have them all of a sudden, we have to have some sort of thing where the car switches wheels, so we'll just do this in-camera trick, and it's so hokey, it's so bad, but so great. I love that.
Yeah.
Let me tell you my favorite part about this film.
Okay. Besides Proto Pepper.
I didn't even pick up on that.
I know, but I figured that's your favorite part now.
Now it is. My favorite part is that you have this high-tech base that Blofeld's going to. You have this diamond satellite, right?
Right.
What's the first place that they choose to attack? North Dakota. Of all places, they go to North Dakota first.
What? Yeah, what's even there? Because the Mount Rushmore is in South Dakota, so it's not even like it's not even like they're going to try and use it to destroy Mount Rushmore or something like that. It's
I mean, obviously, like in the movie, they hit a military base, but I mean, maybe I'm wrong. I live in Nebraska. Omaha is a pretty substantial military base. That's like where George Bush went during the 9/11 attacks. He went to Omaha and things. Even that makes more sense.
Whatever. No one really cares about Nebraska. Okay.
Well, that may be true, but people care even less about North Dakota. That's my point. That's my point. And then right after that, they attack like Washington D.C. But I in my mind, they're getting ready to attack. The countdown guy is my favorite in this film. 10. He's just classic. And then they attack North Dakota, and I was just sitting there laughing because I'm like, of all places, you have a Bond movie where all the locations are exotic. I wish in a Bond film, Sam Mendes, I hope you're listening, I hope that they would go somewhere boring. Like, just go to North Dakota once. Just go once.
Maybe Lisa Prentice is from North Dakota, and so when Bond has to go save
since she
her,
is part of the American Dodgeball League, she's definitely not British.
Right. So when Bond has to go, he hears that there's a hit out on her. He has to go save her. He has to go to North Dakota. So there's a whole action sequence that takes place in North Dakota.
Maybe that's like the opening to Spectre.
Yeah.
Like that would be like he's saving Lisa Prentice.
Probably.
Who then becomes the Bond girl.
Yep. I think we figured it out. Well, I think it's at the point where we need to tell our listeners where we place this. As we don't like rank the movies per se, but we have tiers: top tier, middle tier, bottom tier. We take these movies, we review them, we take them and like eat them all up, spit them out, and we tell you as we spit them out which tier they go in. And I'll tell you right now, and you've said it before, it's very hard to put a Sean Connery movie in the bottom tier. And I contemplated it, but I still think I like it enough to put this in the middle.
You like it enough to put it in the middle?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm with you. It's tough. There are moments in this film, such as the North Dakota scene, such as when James Bond is making out with himself, like that old.
I mean, right there alone should be enough to make it at least the middle.
No, like that kind of stuff. makes me laugh so much that it's so hard to put it in the bottom. Um, I think what is the tipping point for me is the theme music and the way they use the theme music in the film. I even like this better than "Live and Let Die's" uh, the title song.
The
I
song?
love this Yeah, I love this song. I love the title song. I love how they use it throughout the film. Diamonds Are Forever. You're in the middle. You just convinced me.
So middle.
Yeah.
Middle. Okay.
Middle. Sorry, that's a long way of saying middle.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this boat makeout scene.
Okay.
Because this also could be debatable. I want to hear your thoughts on it.
I want to hear your thoughts on it. Why do you think debatable?
Because we never actually see them kiss. We never see them make out.
Oh, I see. I hadn't even considered that. I thought,
Yeah.
clearly it's a boat, but you're saying the make-out is debatable. Oh, good point.
They're clearly on a cruise ship. They're on a boat.
Because I thought about that. Oh, they're on a cruise ship. I was like, boat, locked in, done.
Yeah.
But I didn't even... Oh, man, you are...
Because they're laying there and they're talking to each other. And the assassins come, and then they kill the assassins, and they don't even end the movie on them embracing or kissing. They just end on them like looking over the edge in a movie. There is no kiss to end the film, which makes it really hard for me to put it in the boat makeout scene because clearly it ends on a boat.
Right.
So they definitely got half of it, half of the criteria. And then we can debate on, well, of course they're going to make out, or of course they're going to make love.
But we don't see it.
Yeah, you're right. We don't see it. But is it implied? A lot of James Bond love scenes are implied. You know, we don't see this. This is for the kids.
Here's what we do.
Okay.
Let's put this up to a vote. Let's
right.
let our listeners decide.
That's the only way to do it. Listeners, please vote. Does Diamonds Are Forever end with a boat makeout scene, yes or no?
Next month, what's on deck?
What's on deck?
Yeah.
Well, you brought up a movie last episode, 0018, that we hadn't watched yet. And I figured, instead of you keep bringing up these movies that we haven't seen, that the audience, our listeners know that we haven't seen, let's just go cover it. For your eyes only.
Okay. And this has been Diamonds Are Forever on Pod James Pod. Thanks for listening to episode 0019 on behalf of the guys who you just heard talk. See you next month.